Hey, welcome back to Main Irish Angling TV. Today I'm going to have a quick look at this presentation kit from Fox. It's the Fox RX digital alarms. They're the micron alarms, and basically in the kit, and it retails around €492. You get 3 alarms with a red, yellow and green head, or red, orange and green, whichever way you see that particular middle colour. They have the hard cases with them, and they also have a receiver. Now, basically, what you have here is one of probably the most famous alarm systems on the market. Basically, there's 3 camps with alarms for fishing. You have the Delkim, which are vibration alarms. You have the Fox alarms, which are seen as roller alarms, and you have then the other alarm systems such as ATTs or Steve Neville's, which are roller alarms as well. Now, the RX Digitals, the ones we're looking at here, are the model below the new NTXRs. The NTXRs have a slightly different external shape. They have completely different electronics on the inside that have upgraded them, and they aesthetically look better or different depending on your version of what looks good. The receiver here is quite large on this particular model, but it has an effective range of 200 yards. Now, that's not to say that you're meant to leave your rods for 200 yards. It just means that if you are fishing in a zone that has a lot of trees or bushes in front of you and the rods, it will effectively put the signal through the undergrowth, and you'll be able to receive, you know, every single bleep rather than picking or missing a few bleeps along the way. So what the actual head here has, it has 3 settings, 3 buttons. The first one is volume, the second one is tone, and the third one is sensitivity. Now, the third one we'll come to in a second because that's the important one. Top one and the middle one, if you turn the volume up all the way, it doesn't change the volume on the actual receiver. The receiver has its own volume. But the tone, if you change the tone on your head so you can differentiate between the 3 different heads, it will actually change the tone that's picked up on the receiver automatically, and that's why these are digital. The old LXRs and DXRs models of the previous models to this didn't have that feature, and it's a great little feature. So, as I said, the top 2 buttons are self-explanatory, but the bottom button is the sensitivity button, and this differs from the one that's on the new version of the NTXR. This has a sensitivity button that turns left and right. If you go right with it, it turns up the sensitivity of the roller wheel. So basically the line has to move forward and backwards a predetermined distance before it actually switches off and bleeps. So if you move it forward and backwards, it'll do exactly that. Now, if you turn it left, it'll actually go into vibration mode, and basically the roller wheel, if it vibrates at all, it will, depending on the sensitivity you set to, will actually set the alarm off as well. Why do you need that on an alarm system that's already very, very sensitive? Well, one of the features I think that anglers were looking for, especially the pike anglers, were if they were using these alarms fishing for live baits, or fishing with live baits, and they were fishing, say, a sunken paternoster, and they wanted to check that their live bait was still alive, they would fish it on roller wheel and then switch over to vibration for a few minutes just to see if the live bait was still kicking. Alternatively, if there's a situation where you have to have instant notification of a fish at your bait, especially if you're piking, the vibration mode was probably a good way to go. Fox have deemed not to use it on their new NTXRs, and I think that's probably a good thing, but it's still available for those who like it on the RX models. Now, as I said, this whole presentation kit is a great box, has 3 heads plus a receiver, hard cases. It retails at $492. To get the same set of alarms in the new NTXR, you're probably just shy of €1,000. So it is a considerable saving for what still is probably one of the best alarms on the market. And in fairness, I have friends who are still using these and will buy these in preference to anything else out there because they just work and go and go and go. Battery life on the heads is brilliant, but the receiver is, if you're fishing out for a week, by the end of the week, you're probably going to have to swap out the battery. That's one of the things that they did with the new NTXRs. They improved the battery life in their receiver. But you know what? As I said, battery life in these is pretty stonking anyway, so I wouldn't really worry about it too much. So if you're in the market for a really classy alarm, check out the Fox range. They have them here in store, and well worth the money. $492 will buy you an awful lot of alarm and will set you up for pretty much the rest of your life with a head that won't let you down anytime soon. This is Main Irish Angling, and we'll see you in the next video.